So you're running a campaign on Google Ads and the very worst happens. You are getting 0 conversions or very few conversions and you think everything is fine, the campaign has been set up correctly, you think you're targeting the right thing, but still nothing is happening. So what can you do? What do you do when you're not getting conversions and you're spending money on Google Ads and feeling like you're just giving Google your money and lighting it on fire? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps that I would take in order to turn that around and start generating conversions for a Google Ads account. Now, it requires some out-the-box thinking, so stay tuned because things are gonna get interesting. First of all, we need to understand which metrics we can use to determine why you're not getting conversions. And we're gonna start off with a very simple one, which is simply down to volume. If you're running a campaign and you're not getting many clicks and there's not a lot of traffic going through the campaign and your budget is low, in fact, some budgets I've seen are extremely low of like $20 a day or even less sometimes, this can be a key reason why you're not getting conversions, and here is why. If you're running a campaign with a tiny budget, and we know that other competitors are using smart bidding as well as you probably might be using it as well, then you're limiting the ability for your smart bidding to go for a higher CPC to go after the highest likelihood conversion customers. So if somebody goes to Google and they start typing in something to trigger your ads and they're really motivated to buy, they're really in the market, and Google can identify that, then this is a very, very big potential customer. So naturally, Google will want to increase the bids. Now, if your budget isn't high enough, Google can increase the bids, but then your whole daily budget is gone with 1 or 2 clicks. So of course, it means Google can't really do that because there's not enough budget to work with. There's not enough data for Google to work with to decide to put everything and put all chips in on this particular click, and that's a good reason why a lot of accounts I see aren't getting conversions, simply down to budget and low volumes. So say your budget is healthy and you've got a great budget, you're getting loads of traffic and you're still not getting any conversions. Well, the next thing to look at is what I call the potential of mismatch. And what I mean by that is a mismatch between your search terms, the things people are typing into Google to trigger your ads. Remember, search terms, not keywords, and the actual product and service you're promoting on your website. So say you go into your search terms report in Google Ads and you're taking a look through all the search terms and you're seeing things that are way outside of the remit of what people should be typing in your opinion, to find your business, then you know that the traffic quality is an issue. If you're seeing search terms in there that are basically things like loads of competitor names, loads of adjacent businesses, and other kinds of search terms outside of the remit of what you're doing, then you know you need to start refining your keyword quality with negative keywords or a more restrictive match type strategy like exact match. But if you're using broad match or phrase match, then your best weapon is going to be your negative keywords. You should be identifying all of the search terms that aren't likely to convert and putting them into your negative keyword list. Now, don't be too aggressive when you do this, because if you're getting search terms that are obviously outside the remit, then yes, you can make those a negative straight away. But if something is on the line or maybe not quite what you think it is and it hasn't yet converted, before you kick that keyword out of your account by adding it as a negative, give it enough time to perform. If you have only 1 or 2 clicks on a search term and it's only cost you a couple of dollars or even less, then you can give that search term more time if you think the content of that search term could potentially leads to conversion, because you don't want to make any rash decisions when optimizing performance. So now you've refined your search terms and you've had a look through and understand how people are searching versus what's on your website. The second part I mentioned to that is, of course, your website. Now, when you're doing PPC, you might blame Google for lack of performance, or maybe your own Google Ads skills. You might think you're not good enough, but in all likelihood, a lot of businesses I speak to have everything set up perfectly, but the missing link is the website. Now, a lot of people might criticize me for this, but the easiest first step you can do is to head to the biggest, baddest company in your industry who are doing the biggest numbers, who are doing the millions or whatever it might be. Look at their website and see what they are doing. Because ultimately, you have your own brand, you have your own story, and you have your own product or service, but the simple things you can do on a website to help it convert are going to help you in Google Ads as well. And if you're not getting conversions, a likely culprit could be your website. So let's run down a very quick list as to some of the areas you could potentially look at on your website. Is there a clear call to action? Does the customer know exactly what to do next when they go to your website? Is it a phone call? Is it a content download? Is it a contact form? Is it clearly highlighted in a button that's really visible at a snapshot? If not, you need to fix that. Is the contact number on your website a click to call option? If somebody's using a mobile device and they click your phone number, does it generate a call? If not, you need to fix that too. When the person lands on a website, all they want to know is, am I in the right place? And they should be able to tell that without even scrolling down the page. You need an attention-grabbing headline to confirm that they're in the right place, so match your headline to the target keywords you're going after and the search terms you're generating too. Write a short snippet of text explaining why your service is the best one to help them. Talk about the customer's needs and how you could meet it in a very succinct and clear way. Again, add that call to action as well above the fold, and make sure you're using really powerful images or video above the fold as well. Make sure it's your best examples of your work. If you're doing something that's a product or service that's very visual, make it your best example. If it's something more complex in the B2B space, maybe an explainer video could do very well here as well to help the customer understand how you can help them. Here's a task for you. Send your website link to a friend or family member that you trust. Before you send it though, tell them, look at it for 3 seconds and then close it down. And then tell me what I do and why you should pick me. And the more information they can give answering this question, the better job your website is doing above the fold. Google Ads customers are very fickle. They are clicking everywhere, from the organics to other paid advertisers bidding on the same keywords as you. So it's really important that very quickly in the small window you have, you convey your message very clearly. And finally, if your keywords are perfectly targeted, your search terms match your keywords effectively, your ads are powerful and driving a strong click-through rates that also have relevance to your keywords and search terms, your website is set up perfectly for conversions, and you're still not getting conversions? Well, I've got news for you. The likely culprit is going to be your tracking. Implementing tracking on Google Ads is absolutely crucial, and that's why I make it one of the key areas of my audit process, because if your tracking is off, your data is off, meaning everything in the account is meaningless. So it's important to get this right. What I always advise small businesses is head over to websites like Fiverr or whatever kind of freelancer websites are out there if you can't solve your conversion tracking problem yourself. What you need to do is validate your conversions. The best thing to do to validate your conversions is to head over to the Chrome extension store, install the Google Tag Assistant, and then you can use that to understand whether or not your conversion tags from Google are firing. Walk through the website as a customer would and go through the conversion process, and you can look back and see whether or not your tags are firing when they are supposed to. This will be a great way for you to validate your conversions, and you can see the tag itself showing the firing order, whether or not the tag has fired correctly. If it isn't firing correctly and you can't resolve the issue yourself, you need outside help, and it's crucial to invest in this outside help, because as I say, your data then becomes meaningless if you're not tracking conversions correctly. Now, here's one more bonus point I haven't mentioned yet, and it's outside of anything to do with Google Ads. And it's a hard one to say, and it's simply this. Maybe your product and service just isn't right for the customer. And it's a hard one to say because, of course, everybody thinks their product or service is perfect, and they might be trying to improve it or whatever it might be, but look at the market. Are people cheaper than you and delivering a better service? Are people more expensive than you and going above and beyond, and maybe you've priced yourself too cheaply to build trust? Look at the quality of products versus what you put out there as well. Look at your competitors who are doing big numbers and see whether or not you are matching up to them. If your website isn't good enough quality, if your product or service isn't good enough quality, if you haven't got good reviews, these are all going to affect your business performance, and no amount of Google Ads optimization is going to overcome this. So guys, there you have it. This is what you should be doing if you're not getting conversions in Google Ads and you really need to turn things around. Let me know in the comments which point is more pertinent to your situation, or maybe I missed something, and you can let me know in the comments down below. I reply to pretty much all comments I get on all of my videos. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to head over to darren-taylor.com to hire me as your consultant or book a call with me, and I'll see you guys on my next video.